Bump. A little bump.
All right.
3, 2, 1.
All right. Welcome to our 53rd episode of the PhilmPod. And on this one, we're going to be talking about Invincible Season 4, Episodes 1 through 3, Project Hail Mary, and finishing it off with what we've been watching, just in case you guys want to stick around. But anyways, welcome to PhilmPod, where we break them. Welcome to Film, where we break down films in the way anyone can enjoy. Whether you're new to movies or a seasoned fan, you're in the right place. And also, is to my left, I got my boy, Isaiah.
I don't go nowhere.
Aramia.
Hello.
The GOAT. How you doing, bro? How you doing?
I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling. Doing good. This is an exciting week. Honestly, this is an exciting couple weeks. This is an exciting, all of April up until May. We're thriving right now. There's some great stuff coming out, and I can't wait to talk about it. Phil, how you doing?
Bro, I'm doing good. This last week was so good, bro.
So good, man.
Was so good.
Tomorrow's going to be good, too. And then the day after that.
Bro,
and then next week.
What is this?
I don't know, man.
What is this combination of stuff that's coming at us?
We are in the perfect storm, I would say, of just nerd culture getting hit on all fronts right now. It's an absolutely fantastic time to be a nerd, genuinely. It's an absolutely fantastic time to be, I think, just be a casual person that's into movies, TV shows, whatever. Because I think for the most part, you're probably watching, well, if you don't know, Mall comes out next week. The Boys comes out next week. Okay. Daredevil comes out tomorrow as we're filming this.
What is
Episode 4 of Invincible comes out on Wednesday, right? And we just got a Dune trailer and a Spider-Man trailer. A little more on the Spider-Man trailer later. And maybe Dune. We might as well talk about Dune also as well.
Man.
And right? It's exciting. There's a lot going on. So needless to say, me and Phil are both actively thriving right now, and there's never been a better time to be a nerd, casual, whatever you are. It's never been a great time to just enjoy some good stuff.
This is a very good week,
Good stuff. Good week, dude.
Very good week.
Phil, you want to just go straight into it?
I know you want to go straight into it. So let's
I
get
do.
into our first section, Invincible Season 4.
Oh, yeah, pulling up on my phone.
The first 3 episodes.
Woo!
Izzy, I know you've been excited for this, man. I've been excited for it too, but I know you've been very excited. You're the invincible guy. That's what they call you at work, man. So let's get into it.
Do they really call me that?
You said that they called you that.
Oh, at my work. At my old work. Yeah, that is true. They did call me that. Yeah, it's true, because my phone case. There you go.
Boom. Yeah. Invincible guy.
Boom. Yeah.
So, Invincible guy. How was episode 1?
Here's the thing. I think it just makes, for me, mental sense. Let's just go. I won't say anything specific about 1 through 3, but let me just say, watching all 3 of those, absolutely incredible. I'm having so much fun. It just feels so good to be in a world that I love so much, that I'm so comfortable being in. And it just feels like we're back, dude. We're so back. They're doing the thing. They're making it great. And it feels like we never left. And that's what feels awesome. You know, it didn't feel like I had to wait 2-3 years for another thing. It was just like, hey, we're back. We're here. And it was good. I really enjoyed it.
I don't want to hear no complaints about the animation too. Please shut up. Please stop. I'm sick of it.
I think, what's funny is I think we're done with that conversation.
Please, though.
I think unless it once major stuff starts happening, it gets really bad. And we're like, all right. But at this point, I think that's a very boring conversation, because I feel like we've had 2 seasons of talking about it. And at this point, who cares? Nothing's going to change. So let's just lock in and enjoy it for the ride, you know?
Oh, yeah, man. But just like you, I'm so excited. I was sitting there eating my little sandwich going like, oh, this is so good, man. We are back. Invincible's back. And he's going through some stuff like usual. But
he's going through some stuff.
I think this one's a little worse.
Yeah, it's you know what's funny is I've been watching a lot of Invincible content lately. Just watching people talk about the comic, talk about the show, whatever. And I watched a guy today break down. I wish I could plug his YouTube channel, but I do not remember his name. But he was breaking down season 3. And what's really funny, and it's something that I've just noticed, is I feel like every season, Mark is just getting progressively more and more sad. It's sure, every season, he's getting beat up physically. Dude, every season he's getting beat up mentally. I feel like every single season it's just we start off on the most depressing, man, I'm so sad. I'm just trying to get through my day. And honestly, without spoiling much, I'll just tell you, first 10 minutes of this episode was the first episode was very much here's the aftermath of what has happened previously. And Dude, it literally feels like season 3 and 2, because season 2 does the exact same thing after the Omni-Man versus Invincible fight, where it's just him flying around and saving people, but he's sad. Obviously, everything's changed now. Going into season 3, similar thing where he just freaking like dealt with him and Amber getting broken up. The village, someone's coming, we don't know who that is, and freaking Angstrom just beat up his mom and traumatized his little brother, and he crossed the line he didn't want to. Yeah. And you see that going into the 3rd season of just, man, going through it, doing the hero thing, but he's going through it. Yeah. Season 4, the exact same thing, and it just feels even more sad. It feels darker this time too, and it's just such a good show, dude. It's such a good show.
Oh man, do you want to get into a little?
Yeah, let's get into. We can get into spoilers. Let's have some fun. All right, full spoilers. Let me just preface this. We have to say this early on. Me and Phil have both read the comic book, but don't you worry. We will not be saying anything about anything past the first 3 episodes on how we think it's going to go. We won't be theorizing at all. Genuinely not. And if we ever do theorize, it's purely for there's something that's going to happen that has never happened in the comic book. For example, this week's episode is something that's never happened in the comic book before. I would like to have a discussion about that with you, where we think that's going to go, because I think that's fun. But don't worry about spoilers. It's not going to happen. If there's a slip up, Mr. Tyler's going to edit it out, and I will make sure to catch myself and beat up Phil if he spoils anything.
I mean, if you can.
I can't. I literally can't. I'll die. But yeah, so let's get into it, Phil. Episode 1, we are here. A lot of stuff going on, okay? Mark is so sad. Quite frankly,
you just started saying he's sad already, and you just
sad.
He's so sad.
He's so sad. Oliver, so sad. Like, he's so depressed. Adam Eve, she's so sad. Everyone's so sad. It's just really hard to watch. This episode is called Making the World a Better Place. And honestly, like, it's a lot of just Mark dealing with the same old, villains of the week. But can I be honest? That's why I love this show, man. The world is so cool. It's so awesome. Even when it feels like there's none of the Viltrumite stuff happening, I'm still like super locked in on what's happening with Mark and Eve's relationship, or Mark and Oliver's relationship, or Debbie and Paul's relationship, all that stuff. And there's a lot of that in this episode. So Phil, I want to start with Mark and Eve. All right? Eve is going through a lot right now. Mark is also going through a lot right now. Eve's powers aren't working, and Mark is sad. There's just a lot going on.
They're so sad.
How do you feel about the way this show is portraying the relationship?
I think they're doing a pretty good job, but I'm not going to lie, man. I kind of like the comic book a little more.
Ooh, elaborate.
I feel like there was more personable stuff. I know this one, there was like in season 3, I believe, the episode where like Mark goes to that other dimension or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Those brothers.
Dropkick and something. Yeah.
I forgot, but there was that like nice moment, and like there's nice moments that they have, but I just feel way more into it in the comic books. Like this, I still am into it, but it doesn't feel as strong and as like it doesn't draw me as much as the comic book did. But it's still good.
Yeah,
still good, but I prefer the comics.
I relate to that actually. And for me, what's weird about it is not that I think the show is doing it a disservice, because I actually think it's doing great. And the way I'm able to like react to Invincible now is through other people, where I get to like watch my friends watch it and they're like, oh my gosh, oh I love this, I love that, whatever. Or listening to people and seeing Twitters and seeing tweets of people talk about like, hey, I love that they're doing this. That's kind of how I have to experience it now, because for me, I've experienced Invincible and Adam Eve's relationship. Like I know how it goes, I know what happens, I know the things, whatever. So a lot of this is not treading any new ground for me. So I feel like that might be what it is for both of us. That might be. We're like, because I think it's happening beat for beat the exact same. To us, it's just different because we've seen this already. Yeah. You know? But I mean, their confrontation with Universa, really cool. Woo! I like her a lot, and she's really sick. I will be honest, I just wanted a little bit more from Eve versus her, because they like, I know in the comics it plays out in a similar way too, but seeing her bust out that scythe and sort of clash with Universa's staff, I was like, oh, I kind of hope they do something here. I hope they do something. And they kind of didn't. And I was just like, man.
I was shook when she just came up and she was just like, boom, because I was like, you that powerful?
Yeah.
I mean, I know you powerful, but dang, you holding up with her. She just knocked out Mark.
Yeah.
But I really, what did you say her name was again? Because
Universa.
I was watching it. Universa. I call her Thor Woman.
Yeah.
She literally is just
She's Thor.
When she threw the staff and it came back to her, I was like, that's Thor. That's Thor.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's Wonder Woman and Thor. But it was cool. Like, I think that Eve's punch took me out too. When she just came out and boom. And I went, you just knocked her out cold.
Yeah.
Did that happen in the comic books?
Yeah.
Okay, my bad. I forgot about it, but
I think
seeing it in the show, like in full
minute.
motion, I was like, that is awesome.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if it's not Eve, it's for sure Mark. Because what is the whole thing is the reason why this isn't like a big fight is because she's so powerful with that staff, and then without it, she's literally nothing.
Yeah.
And also Eve, everything going on with her powers. Like, it makes sense why there wasn't a big fight. I remember just seeing that in the trailer and being like, ooh, I wonder if they're going to add a little something. And they didn't really. But yeah, cool stuff, whatever. The really thing I want to talk about is Oliver and Mark. Because right now, that's my favorite relationship.
I think the first thing we see in the episode was Ollie playing on his like little PSP Game Boy thing.
His Game Boy Advance playing Pokemon.
And
great choice.
He was playing Pokemon?
He was playing Pokemon, yeah.
Dang, okay, all right, Ollie. But you see Mark coming in the room, and he's like, hey, still got to go out. And I was like, ooh, this is about to be awkward. And Ollie's like, why? And I went, oh.
So different compared to in the other season. He was like dying to get outside, and now he just like doesn't want to.
And he's like, I just came back. And then Mark's like, we still got to go out there. And I'm like, bro, I'm starting to feel it. And once again, we have our very first like conversation on like being a superhero or like realism to it, because it's like it's not just like a job where you clock in and clock out. It's an everyday thing, like
24/7.
And them like showing that, and I'm guessing a 14 or 15-year-old Ollie, where it's like, bro, I just want to play some video games. Like, come on. And Mark's over here like, oh, it's 24/7. Come on, we got to keep going. And he's just like, bro, I just want to chill. Like, come on. And so then you have his mom come in. Then like Mark's putting on his costume again, about to go out, and his mom's like, you can like chill for a second. And him having that conversation is just like, no, it's the way they look at me that keeps me going. Like, I pretty much did this to them. Like, it wasn't technically me, but it was me's that did this to them. And I just got to keep going out there and doing the best I can to show them that it's not me. And I was like, oh.
And that's what makes Invincible the best, right? I think it's a lot of those. I think we talk about The Boys in the way that it chases realism, especially I think with like corporations controlling soups. And I think that's well and good and cool and whatever. My favorite part about Invincible is I think it takes the wackiness of like comic books and other characters and other tropes that we know. But like, I feel like brings them down to earth, makes them really grounded in a way that I can just very much relate to. Because I think that like Mark's experience of in the third season, right? Hey, I'm doing this thing and like I'm gonna do it to the best of I can. And then he gets to a point where no, I need to look out for my family. I'm tired. There's other people that can do this. In the Invincible, he's like, I don't want to deal with this, right? There's other people who can do it. There's other superheroes. To now seeing that, like, no, you have to do this. Like, this is your job. And seeing how that takes a mental toll on him, on how much he doesn't want to go. He just wants to sit and eat his food. But instead, he can't be home for more than 5 minutes without something happening, and he has to go deal with it. And I just think that's my favorite part of the show. It keeps it interesting. It keeps it relatable, because I think we all have experiences where it's like, this shouldn't be my responsibility, but unfortunately it is. And that's the situation that you're in, and you have to deal with that. And I like that the most. And I think Oliver's like the best example of that too, because Oliver was so excited in the third season to just get out there and have some fun. And now he just wants to sit there and play on his Game Boy Advance. He is not having a good time. He's just like, dude, I want a game. But I think this episode when he gets his new suit. Is that the first or the third episode?
Yes. Actually, I don't think so. I think he got in the third episode. Because it was the red and black one, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
I couldn't remember. Okay, I want to talk about that in a little bit. But we'll jump to the second episode, because I don't think there was much really going on in the first episode outside of...
Wasn't the first episode Mark
doing the shoot.
Thing? Oh my... Before we do get to the second episode, let's talk about that.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that. His first... like blatant kill. You're right.
Oh my goodness. I was so impressed with that scene, because I think way better in the comics, I think, on that scene, because he eventually, if you guys don't know, the Sequids came back trying to take over like the people in the area, trying to like multiply their numbers so they can go out and just like they're trying to, what's the word? Initiate a whole full out invasion of Earth. they have them inside this cage, and then out of the blue, Mark comes in. He has the head guy who's in charge, who's the hive mind of all these things. And Mark is waiting for Bulletproof to come with I forgot what the little
it's just like the sound wave thing.
A neutralizer to save this human, to get the sequid that's in charge of him off of him so that he can safely save the human. But it was taking too much time. She was about to go down. So Mark made an executive decision. He killed a human. He killed a human for the better of humankind.
I watched that scene with my friends, and I loved their reaction. We were sitting there, they were watching it, and they all went, "Oh!" And it was the exact reaction I wanted, because it was my reaction when I read it, where it's just like, we're finally at the no holding back, you know, like I'm just going to do it. But I like his response more here than in the comic books.
Oh, yeah.
Because the comic books, it's played out very differently. Here, he's like actually apologizing, while the other one, like in the comics, it's like, oh, I have to do this, and just boom. But I like the show more for this because it shows that remorse still is there, that he still cares. Like there's a part of him that doesn't want to do it, but in his head, he has to do it. Like this is his one thing he has. Do you think he could, like, do you think he had to do that? Like, do you think, was that the right call? Was that the right call?
He had to, because that shield, at first it said 8%, then it said 4%, then it was literally about to break. And he could tell it too. That's why I love that scene even more, because he's holding that person there, and he's like, you could tell he was looking around. Like, it didn't show in his eye mask, but you could tell he's waiting for that stinking neutralizer thing from Bulletproof, and he knows it's not coming. So he just went, I can't do this. Boom. Because it was, what do you got to do? He's trying to save the world. He's trying to help out. I mean, I think it was the right decision.
I mean, there's a really cool thing they do with, I mean, think about it, it's the exact same situation he was in with Angstrom Levy. It's the exact same, has him by the throat. Instead, the difference here is with Angstrom, he hesitates and he gets away, except his arm. This case, Mark is like, no, the last time I did this, like, he got away. And the previous time I did this and I didn't finish the job, he killed hundreds of thousands of people. So I'm not going to let that happen again.
Oh, yeah.
Boom, dead.
Do you feel like this is the Batman thing?
What?
This is like the Batman theory of like, if Batman wouldn't put all these bad guys in Arkham, and they just keep coming out, like he should just be killing them? Do you feel like they're testing?
I think it's definitely playing on that idea.
Or just overall with superheroes?
Yeah, I think so. Because here's the thing is, I think that's a very common trope where superheroes don't kill. It's just a very normal thing. For a lot of it works as a plot device because you're always able to bring the characters back. It's like, oh, they broke out again. Joker's on a rampage, you know? But I think what's so cool about Invincible is it takes that trope and challenges other people to be like, hey, like, sometimes it is worth, you have to kill this person because they're going to keep coming back. And other instances, they could be saved. Think about it like Cecil's entire thing with like taking in villains and reforming them, right? That's his perspective. In Mark's case, it's sometimes, yes, you can get away with doing that. And other times you get an Angstrom, right? Where you could, I mean, in that case, he did kind of kill him, but Angstrom wasn't scared and was like, okay, I'm gonna chill out. He was like, nah, I'm gonna get my get back, you know? But I mean, what I mean is like the inverse of like, oh, Cecil's reformation goals works, but also what Mark is doing works because now the Sequids aren't gonna be a problem anymore, at least from what we know, right? They're not gonna be a problem anymore. And I think both reasons are valid, and I can't wait to see Mark sort of like understand places where he can and can't save people, or when he can and can't spare the villain, you know? Because I think that's when the show is like, dude, like that's when it's at its best, when Mark is actually challenged by like those decisions. And I like that they're already doing it here, and you're seeing him kind of like react to that by apologizing. And you'll see that again in the third episode, which we'll talk about in just a second. But you ready to move on to the second episode?
Yes.
Okay. Please. This is the episode. This is the episode that I want to talk about the most because it does something very unique. I'll give you the grand tour. It's essentially just a buddy space cop episode of Invincible with Nolan and Alan hanging out, traveling through space, finding different weapons to kill the Viltrumites. That's essentially what it is. But they do something really cool. And for all of you people that just watched the show, for you people that are comics fans, they do something where I was sitting there and I was like, I don't remember this. And my friends were like, I said, is this in the comics? And I go, I don't remember it, but I feel like I would have remembered this, but I don't. They add a completely new scene that completely gives the entire like destruction of the Viltrumites so much more depth. Nolan finally reveals hey, this is actually what happened to my people, okay? Scourge virus. It hits, okay? And all their people die. Billions of people die.
Oh, yeah.
To the point where they make a ring around their own planet.
crazy to me, man.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
It's so cool. And I counted. This is cool. Fun fact for you. In the comic books, that is 13 panels. That's it. In this show, they gave you an extra like 15 minutes of young Nolan fighting his parents, teaching kids, and the animation is so good. Like the choreography is crazy when he's fighting his parents. And then they do the whole like symmetry thing of like the way his mom's beating him up, same way he was beating up Invincible. Just great.
Full circle, man.
Full circle, baby. And seeing his dad practice that remorse, which is very much probably where Nolan gets his kind of like remorse aspect of him, right? Where he holds back. Just a phenomenal episode, and I really appreciated that change because it wasn't something I was expecting, and quite frankly, wasn't something that was completely necessary, but it adds so much context to like their world, and I really liked it. Like I thought it was so awesome.
Viltrumites are crazy, man.
They're crazy.
Those 15 minutes show you, like, I know Omni-Man, Conquest, they're crazy, but Viltrumites after that episode, way more crazier than I even like thought. Like even before when I was reading the comic books, I already knew they were crazy. But that scene, I didn't even know that was Nolan. You just see young Nolan teaching these kids about the history of the betrayer and the pressure. Because I was thinking, why are these kids all got frowns on them? Why? What's going on? And then the little girl starts trying to like memorize this thing about the betrayer. And as she's stumbling, trying to remember it, Nolan places a hand on her head, and I'm like, is he about to kill a kid? Is he? When she finally remembers,
he would have. He would have.
Yeah, he pressed his hand.
Yeah, he would have.
Oh my gosh, is he still gonna do it? Did she get it wrong? And then right when it didn't happen, the thing that blows my mind even more is, all right, kids, lesson's over. Find shelter, find food, good luck. And I went, huh? They don't live with their parents?
Nah.
What? And then after the lesson ends, random person, second random person attacks him. Then you find out it's both his parents. And I'm like, what is this world? What are we doing? And they're like, it's your special day. I was like, what day?
What day?
He just finished class.
His birthday.
There's kids around. What are we doing?
Yeah, dude. Just
crazy.
Insane intense. I want to shout out the voice actors for just everyone. Specifically young Nolan. It was the first time I watched Invincible and I actually had the thought of maybe I don't like that they keep casting celebrities because when you cast like a full-on voice actor, you can tell. Like his voice, I was trying to find the actor and it's not listed on IMDb unless he's like listed, like unless they don't want to spoil it because he could just be Viltrumite General, I think, but I don't recognize. Maybe that is him, actually. No, I don't know. It doesn't matter, regardless. Yeah, you could just tell when it's like a guy that's like lived in voice acting, whereas you get like your random celebrities that kind of pop in for a guest appearance, which I don't mind. I never do, but like still, I'm just like, man, so good, such good voice acting, and I think it deserves a shout out because it was phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
But dude, that entire section is just so peak, and I really liked it.
Episode 2 is my favorite episode so far.
It was too. Where do you think it ranks in terms of the whole series? Because it's rated pretty high. It's sitting at a 9.4 on IMDb.
Oh, thank God.
So it's very high.
I'll put it top 5.
You would?
I'll put it top 5.
Really?
I just love those 15 minutes, man. That came out of nowhere to me, and I was just guessing the whole time. And if the show keeps doing more of that, I'm in love.
Yeah, I agree. I like that extra stuff. I don't think it's top 5.
I think it's top.
What? Ready? I'm about to name all episodes that are better than it. Okay, you ready? Watch this. Powerplex episode, I think is better. Okay, Conquest fight, obviously better.
Oh, yeah.
Invincible War, 100% better. First episode of Invincible, I'd give it. I freaking love that episode. Omni-Man versus Invincible, episode 8 is peak. Episode 7 of season 1, where the lead up to Omni-Man sort of finally turning, peak. Hot take, but here's the thing: is I'm just a big this part fan. Angstrom versus Mark the first time is one of my favorite comic things ever. Here's why. it was the first thing that like actually hooked me on the comic. Because up until the point I'd watched the whole first season multiple times. I was like, I'm just gonna read the comic. I gotta get this through. The Angstrom part sold me, where I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna keep reading because it's so good. So sorry, I mean, you're valid. I think this is such a valid opinion because I'm seeing everyone say this is top 5 episodes ever.
I gotta go with 15 top 5.
For me, it's that first 15 minutes is good. Excuse me, first 15 minutes is awesome. It's so peak. After, it's really good, and I love the chemistry between Alan and Nolan. I love them going through space. I love the sci-fi world of Invincible. I think it's so cool. But I just don't think it compares to those other episodes that I think are just much more rewatchable. But still, not undermining this episode. I think it's absolutely incredible. I think it's fantastic. And can I just say something?
Yeah, go for it.
J.K. Simmons, by the way, such a good voice actor.
Oh, yeah.
He's such a good voice actor. And for one reason, the final bit at the end, when it's revealed the betrayer was Thaddeus, the head of the coalition, and he was the one that made the Scourge virus.
Oh, man.
Nolan's freaking delivery is so good.
Better than the comic book.
No, yeah, no, way better. It's so good. His entire like look of just like fear strikes us in. Even though we know how freaking confident like Omni-Man is, that man can fight. That man can throw hands. But Thaddeus defeated their king, King Argyle, right? Yes, that's the lineage. King Argyle. And it's like, oh, I don't know if he's gonna do that. But also looking straight into the man that killed billions of your people, including your father.
Oh, man.
And the scene where he like sees his father and he throws his body out of the thing, like that plays so well into what happens later when he discovers that Thaddeus did that.
That's why I love that episode.
Because you know his dad maybe wasn't the worst person.
Yeah.
Even though we understand that the Village Mites are awful people. And another great conversation, Alan and Omni-Man had that great conversation about how like he still feels for his people even though they suck. Like I like what Omni-Man says about how to us it was just our duty. And Alan completely rebuttals that with, that doesn't make it okay. Like that doesn't mean you guys are fine, but it does help you add the context of, oh, I understand where Omni-Man was thinking. Because we can't understand it. Because how could you do that? But to them, that was normal. That was just how they lived. And even though an Omni-Man like kind of hates on their kind and hates where he goes, he still defends what they did sometimes. Because he says, I mean, we did stop wars. We did help planets, but we didn't help all the planets. We didn't help a lot of them. A lot of them did suffer. A lot of them didn't respond to us well, and we killed them all. It's just really good moral conversation, and it's why I love Invincible so much, because I think that's when it's at its best.
But that's why those 15 minutes were so good, man.
So good.
It plays out. Like, it just gives you good depth on Omni-Man / Nolan, for you all who don't know, and it just lets you feel remorse for him. Like, I'm just so impressed with that episode, man. I'm so impressed. I can't believe we still have 5 more episodes to go.
It was literally like, how do you feel bad for someone that, like, you watch, like, destroy an entire city and murder the greatest heroes on Earth and then proceed to go up to a different planet and have another baby with another woman and kind of lie to your son and rope him into this whole, like, how could you like a man like that? But you see what happens and you're just like, dude, like, man, like, I feel bad, you know? Just some great stuff happening. Let's go move on to the final episode. I gotta get some air. This is where everything comes sort of clash into a halt. But it also has my favorite Oliver scene, I think, ever. And it's the scene when he gets his suit.
Oh, okay.
This is what I wanted to finally talk about. I talked about it previously. He gets a new suit. Oliver gets a new suit that I think is far better than the one he was wearing. You know, it kind of move away from the whole like Robin thing and kind of moves into Nightwing, where it's like just 2 colors as opposed to multiple, you know?
It's kind of like Nightwing.
Yeah, just red instead. And I just think that's, I don't know if that's like the reason for that, because it doesn't look like Nightwing's suit, but I think like the colors like just kind of remind me of that vibe. Regardless, I love that he keeps the O, the Omni-Man symbol, and his response is like, so many people watched me save like people with this. It has a new meaning, and it's like I gave it a better meaning, and I'm like, You go, Oliver. I freaking love that kid,
He
dude.
said that in the comics too.
I don't remember it. So like a lot of the smaller individual conversations I don't really remember. It's a lot of the big stuff that I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that. But I love that conversation so much. And it just like reinforces why I love Oliver so much, because I think he's a character that on the surface can come off as really annoying, rash, and just like all over the place, doesn't understand responsibility because he's a kid. But also I love it so much because I think you get to really watch him grow, where Mark starts at a place where he's a little bit more mature because he's like 17, but he starts at a place where he's like 2 weeks old. Like he's like a month old or whatever, but like really like he's like 6 or 7 when he gets his age, you know, or when he gets his powers. And watching his growth is so different compared to Invincible is because he's sort of getting all of that realization a lot faster than he did. And I don't know. I love Oliver so much. I think it's really good stuff.
Nah, man. I actually didn't have too much to say about episode 3 besides I love that they give us more Titan stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I like that part. But besides that, I was still kind of like, okay. I mean, it's episode 3. This doesn't have to be the best episode.
You don't like the dragon fight?
Not that much.
Really?
I thought it was cool towards the end, but I wasn't too into it.
Okay, understandable. I really liked it. I don't know. Watching him and Oliver work together was so cool, where they're punching the dragon in the face and they're bouncing around. But they do something in this episode that got me so hype, and I didn't realize a song could have so much meaning.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh,
the song was good.
Dude, when the Flaxons come back and the dum dum dum, I sat up, I was like, no, I got so excited.
I love that that's the theme for the Flaxons.
Yes, it's so cool. And you wouldn't think that like matters until they did it again 3 years or since 2020, 6 years later. Like that's what I'm saying, is that's crazy. But I've watched the first season so many times that like I remember it. So when they played it, I like sat up and I geeked. My friends go, "What's going on?" And I'm like, guys, they're back. And then like it just good. And then obviously all the stuff with like Robot and Monster Girl getting stuck in the Flaxen dimension, which I'm really excited to see what happens there.
I'm curious.
I'm really curious too, because I have no idea what happens.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyways, fantastic stuff. I think that's a really good episode. I think similarly to episode 1, where it's just like, this is why I like the villain of the week part of Invincible, where it's just fun, good time, good stuff. But I had a thought too, and this is really fast before we move on, because I know we have to move on to the next thing. You know what's something that doesn't bug me about the animation? And I think I've said this before, but I don't know if I have, so I'm going to say it again. I think the reason why I don't hate the animation is because like this feels like a kid's cartoon, just more adult. Where when I watch Spectacular Spider-Man or Ultimate Spider-Man or the original 90s X-Men cartoon, you know, X-Men 97, I understand, different conversation. But like when you watch a lot of these older superhero cartoons, I'm not expecting great animation, you know? Like that's just not what I want, you know? I'm looking for just good writing, good characters, and fun fights, you know? And that's what I want. And I think this show is nailing that every single time. We're sure, like, sometimes it looks like a PNG is just moving on the screen. Sure. But then freaking Oliver and Mark juggle a dragon, and I'm like, not literally, but like punch, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, dude, this is awesome, and this is what I want. So just want to say that. When you're sitting there and you're like, why does this look like my animes? Trust me, I watch a lot of anime too, okay? I understand. Quite frankly, I wish it looked like that, if I'm being 100% honest, and I'll always dink the show on that, but it's still great. Yeah. It's still so damn good, and if you're not watching it because you're like, bad animation, you're missing out on some peak stuff, dude. That's all I'm going to say.
You really are, man.
I'm going to say.
Gotta pay attention to the story.
Yeah, gotta pay attention to the story. Phil, we watched a movie called Project Hail Mary this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Are we ready to talk about it? Want to just get into it? Let's just do it. Let's just go for it. Let's just go for it. Who wants to go first? You want to go first? I'll go. You can go first.
Bro, this movie, I knew it was going to be pretty good, but this movie was really good.
Whoa.
Like, really good.
Whoa.
Like,
Who would have guessed?
Like, I knew the first thing I was thinking about, even when I saw the trailer, even when I was hearing about it, was the cinematography is probably going to be really good. Like, really good. And it was really good, but what I didn't expect even more was the story was really drawing me in. And that's obvious because Phil Lord and Christopher Miller are just like geniuses when it comes
Geniuses.
down to it.
Also, weirdest portfolio, but we'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah, big time. But like, I was so impressed with the comedy. I didn't expect it to be as funny as it was going to be. I was very impressed with the relationship between Ryland Grace and Rocky. And I just love the space scenes. I really love the space scenes. But this movie, a lot of my friends were telling me before I even watched it, like, this is definitely like gonna be their favorite movie of the year, and it's definitely like a 10 out of 10 for them, and I believe it for them. I'm not saying I'm giving it 10.
You're not ready for that night yet.
I'm not ready for it yet. I gotta watch it again, but I'm just gonna say I love this movie.
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
What's your number score?
Oh, I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. A high 8 out of 10.
Whoa, okay.
High.
Okay.
I want to give it a 9. I'm very good
I think this might change after
I'm
this
at like
conversation.
an 8.8 or 8.9 right now, but I'm leaving it at a very high 8 out of 10.
Okay. I watched Project Hail Mary. Hail Mary. Not a football movie, by the way. It's not a football movie. This is about space. I watched Project Hail Mary, and going in, similar to you, I was expecting it to be good. Actually, no. Difference between me and you is you expect it to be pretty good. I kind of went in knowing it was going to be insane. So, like, my expectations were really, really high for it going in, especially looking at the Letterboxd score. I'm like, I have it pulled up right here. 4.4 out of 5 stars right now on Letterboxd average. And while I don't think it blew me away, it's incredible.
Oh, yeah.
It's a 9 out of 10 for me, hands down. It's a more wholesome Interstellar, and I wasn't ready for that, like, at all. It made me emotional. The music was incredible.
Oh, yeah.
It was, yes, surprisingly funny, and I should have expected that considering the directors made 21 and 22 Jump Street, but I didn't think about that going in. It was really funny. I love the relationship between Rocky and Ryan Gosling's character as well. The space scenes were incredible. Let's give a shout out to the editing, by the way. I think the way they were able to jump between the past and what was happening currently was incredible. They also play with the aspect ratio, right? That's the term. Yeah, aspect ratio, where when normal it's widescreen, and then once it's in the space scenes, they go full on like IMAX cameras, which was really cool. I just thought the movie was absolutely phenomenal, and I really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to talk about it right now.
Yeah, speaking of the aspect ratio, I was kind of noticing that because my question I had in my mind even before the movie started was every single time I go into the theater, movies playing in the whole widescreen, trailers, everything. Before the movie started, everything was playing a little smaller. Like Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer comes up, smaller. Dune 3 trailer comes up, smaller with like black around it. I'm like, why is that? Did they not fix the camera? When the movie starts, it's squared a little bit, but then it expands, and I went, oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Well, usually it's because of the kind of camera they're using.
Yeah.
So for a lot of the past scenes, they'll use like any scene that is not in space, essentially. They're using probably a more traditional like camera setup. I could not tell you the like actual terms or anything, but I knew going in that for the space scenes they used like crazy IMAX cameras. That was the goal, that was the plan, and you can tell because whenever it's like the square with the black borders, and then once it cuts to space, it like full screens, and I'm like, whoa,
that
chill
was
out.
So beautiful, man.
Did you see how this movie didn't use any green screens or blue screens?
I saw that and I was kind of curious because I was like, I mean, was Ryan Gosling actually in space, or were they using that? Were they using that one screen that they used for the Batman or something?
I think a lot of it was practical effects, I would assume. I don't know. Tyler, do you know anything about how it was filmed? Because they were like, for a lot of the scenes, especially where like the colors got crazy, they didn't use any green or blue screen. Okay, I need to look into it too. I meant to and I forgot to because I keep seeing everyone talk about that, and I'm like, then how did this movie get made?
I'm just gonna say they used magic.
Magic, sure.
I'm just gonna say
it felt like magic.
Movie magic.
Movie magic.
Which is why you guys should go check this movie out. I'm just saying that for now, but we're still gonna talk about it because I love it.
What did you think about this movie taking a more wholesome approach? Because I think Interstellar is very dark.
Yes.
Like, it gets really sad and it's very serious, and you're just like, dude, this movie was funny and really sweet, like the entire time, you know?
I think that got me more into the movie because don't get me wrong, I love Interstellar, but I think like as serious as it is, at a lot of times in Interstellar, it was a little bit too serious for some points where I kind of just wanted the moment of like, hey, we're in space, this is super
Let's
cool.
have fun, you know?
And that's what you get at the beginning of this movie with Ryan Gosling. Like, I know he didn't feel that, but I felt it when he wakes up and he's just like, no, don't touch me. Another human? Let me check. What is this? cool, weird room, whatever. And it's just, it was so fun to get Ryan Gosling waking up, trying to get his body working, and then us touring his space
shuttle.
I don't know, his spaceship thing.
Yeah.
And it was just nice to get like acquainted with it. And so the rest of the movie, because then, you know, we find out he doesn't really know who he is. And then there comes the first edit with him going back to the classroom. And I thought that was nice, because then you have some funny scenes with him. The earth is lava, throwing it around, talking with the kids. And then after that gets recruited to do research on, what was the thing called? Amoebos?
I wouldn't know.
Amoebas? I don't know. The little water thing that was ruining the sun cells, I think. I don't know. But it was cool, like, getting into that and feeling, or getting that silliness from Ryan Gosling. Another funny thing about it, too, is Christopher Miller and Phil Lord's, like, I'm starting to get a sense of how they do their comedy and writing when it comes to it. Because I've seen a lot of their movies, like, I believe you said 21 Jump Street.
21 and 22 Jump Street.
Okay.
Lego Movie.
Love those.
Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
Yep.
Those are the movies they've specifically directed. They've produced a lot of movies, too.
But I've seen all of those, and I love that type of comedy. Like, whenever I see Phil Lord and Christopher Miller doing something, that is me. Like, that is my type of comedy, because it definitely showed in this. Ryan Gosling, there were so many times, like, I feel like that Nope, like, type of thing is dumb, because you've seen him across Spider-Verse, you've seen it in the Lego Movie, you've seen it a lot of times in their other projects, and like, their comedy just flows with whatever they do, and it really shined in this movie. Like, really shined, and I was very impressed.
I want to do you want to take so this movie split up into two separate things, past and then space stuff. What do you want to talk about first? So we can break down both and kind of like talk about how we felt about each.
Well, overall, how did you feel about that editing technique?
I loved it. I thought it was really good. It was never confusing. I never felt like I wasn't following, because it did a really good job of, okay, here's some of the space stuff. Here's what he's developing. Here's what's going on with him and Rocky. And then it would transition of, okay, here's how we got here. And I really liked that sort of split between the two, because whenever I felt like, okay, like I'm starting to get a little bored, or hey, I need to change the scenery, it would change just like that, you know?
Yeah.
So I never felt like I was sitting on something for too long. I felt like there was always something new and interesting getting revealed, or like a cool, like, moral discussion happening, you know?
That was another cool thing. How did you like the scene transitions when they'd have the camera tilted, because when he was in space,
Yeah,
it would show him
yeah.
like to the side.
I thought it was a cool
they
touch.
would show the Earth side, and they'd turn the camera back up.
Yeah, I thought it was a really
that was
cool
really
touch.
cool.
Yeah, I really like that too. I want to talk about some of the visual stuff with the space things. Let's just go spoilers for the movie, just so we can kind of talk about it a little more freely. So they go to the galaxy Tossetti, which I thought was really cool, little space stuff. But specifically, they go to a planet. What was it called? Adrian. They named it Adrian. And it looked so pretty, dude.
Yes.
Just the green and I love space movies like that purely. And I just like space stuff in general, because I like how so many people are able to understand how pretty space is. Yeah. I think we can all look at space and be like, yeah, that's pretty scary, you know, just a whole lot of nothing going on.
Yeah.
But like when you're able to capture really its beauty, I think there's something really fun about that, because I think around all that darkness and scariness of floating in space aimlessly, there's also all that really cool, pretty visual color stuff you can do. And this movie does that hands down. So just Planet Adrian already looking awesome. And then when he uses the whole, like, I'm just going to say amoebas, because I don't remember what they're called, but the amoeba, astrophage, thank you. The astrophage thing. The camera that was able to like capture it, and then the whole screen goes all red and pretty.
Gosh.
I thought that was freaking awesome looking. And I was like, dude, heck yeah. I remember having a really big smile on my face, because I'm like, this is a freaking movie.
That was the most beautiful scene I've seen in a while. Like, if I'm being for real, that was just so beautiful, so well shot. And I'm just going to say grace. I loved his, like, narration, or even his moment in that, like what he's talking about, how he's feeling, and then even Rocky in the background going like, what's going on? I can't really see anything. He's like, I'm just having a moment.
Yeah.
That was so good, bro. And maybe
So
it's just
good.
because I'm still coming off that high of watching Hoppers, and there were those such good like nature scenes when they're just standing still and like looking at
Admiring,
everything around.
yeah.
So going from that to this, oh man, that was beautiful.
So good. Let's talk about Rocky. Let's talk about the GOAT. Can we be honest? He made that movie. he made that movie infinitely better because, quite frankly, I love Ryan Gosling to death. Once Rocky showed up, I was laughing so hard. And I think what's so good is Rocky doesn't show up till a good bit into the movie, actually. I didn't check time, but what I would assume is probably like good 30 minutes into the movie, 40 minutes into the movie, he kind of shows up. And I think what I loved about that so much is it really shows you how lonely Ryan Gosling is stuck on this ship by himself. So that when Rocky shows up, everyone is kind of feeling the exact same thing Ryan Gosling's feeling of, oh my gosh, another person. I finally someone he can talk to, this is awesome. And it kind of broke that loneliness that I was feeling watching it, where I'm just like, man, where is this? I'm so curious where this is going to go. And once Rocky shows up, the entire vibe of the movie changed. It's now, instead of just a Ryan Gosling trying to figure out what to do, space stuff, whatever, it's kind of like a buddy cop movie. Oh, yeah. Him hanging out with this other rock guy and they're doing science stuff and they're hanging out and having a good time. But he was also just so funny. He was so funny. Every time they're trying to learn a new word for something, and specifically the naming, where he was like, hey, what's your name? And it was just like this long, drawn out noise. I was laughing so hard. Quite honestly, I think I was laughing a little louder than I should have in the theater. You ever react to something more than other people are? Yep. And you're just like, sorry, I shouldn't have done that. There's a joke. I was talking to my brother about this because I was trying to get him to remind me what the joke was. I still don't remember it. But Rocky does say something, and Ryan Gosling has a really funny response. And I laughed really hard. No one laughed. And I literally went quiet. I looked at Anthony. I was just like, my brother. And I was just like, I was like, sorry. I just thought it was really good humor. And you're right. I think Phil Lord and Christian, their humor, it just works for me too. Yeah. I'm very easy to make laugh. I kind of laugh at a lot of things, but their humor is just so fast. It just goes. It's very, I feel riff based, where you and a person are just kind of talking and things just kind of happen that are funny. And I really like that.
I love it, man. I was just like you. I was just very impressed with the comedy, and I think the way I knew how this was gonna go was instantly when Ryan Gosling was trying to take control of the ship and was trying to fly away from his ship.
Oh, yeah.
He kept following him, and I was just like,
nice.
Thinking about it now, I'm like, dang, Rocky must have been really lonely that he kept following that ship around.
Poor guy.
Instead of being scared, because they were both the same person. I'm just like, dang, so Grace is trying to get away from him, and Rocky's over here like, hey, I'm right here. Hey, throws this sticking artifact at him. Open it. I could just tell that's what he was doing. Tapping on the glass. Open it. I can see that.
I like when he does the point too, and he's like, "Oh, you're not." That was really good.
He was like,
what did you think of Okay, sorry. Did this movie make you emotional?
Yes.
Did you cry?
No.
Phil, do you cry in movies?
Not really. The only movie that almost made me cry was A Little Princess.
Did you watch Iron Claw?
Yeah.
That didn't make you cry?
Almost did, but I didn't.
Whoa.
I was close.
Okay, I'm a very emotional person when I watch movies. I cry very easily. Not my hands. I like tears will be falling out of my eyes, and I'm just sitting there like a man, just slow tear on my.
You're sitting there like.
Yeah, there's very few movies where I've walked out feeling like a mess.
Yeah.
Where Logan, I walked out and I was a freaking mess. I was 11 years old. My entire life was shattered in front of me. Mm-hmm. Iron Claw actively ruined my Christmas. It killed the vibe of the entire holidays. I cried so much watching that movie. This movie I went in, I think, expecting to cry, so I didn't. But I still got pretty emotional. Yeah. I got really connected to this dang rock and Ryan Gosling. Quite frankly, I got connected to them more than Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling. They have way more chemistry. This rock and Ryan Gosling.
You just don't like Stone.
No, and that's not to disrespect La La Land and Emma Stone, a movie I freaking love to death. Ryan Gosling and this damn rock have so much chemistry. It was insane. Yeah, I got really emotional, but just to spoil a big scene in the movie that I want to talk about with you is when he gets hit and he's like, Ryan Gosling is pretty much about to die. Yep. And Rocky breaks out of his thing and drags him over to the bed to get him healed. I'm so happy and it's actually funny enough similar to the Hoppers thing where you now can't understand what they're saying, but you know exactly how they're feeling.
Yep.
And the way he was just freaking out. oh my gosh. I was like, please stop. And then you see him spazzing on the floor, like tweaking out. And I was like, can you stop showing this to me? Like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this to me?
To have you feel exactly the way you feel.
Exactly,
now,
right? Phenomenal scene. And I thought all of that sequence was great, leading up to even like Ryan Gosling like sleeping next to him and being like, don't worry, buddy, like I'll watch you. Because their people need to watch each other while they sleep because they sleep too long. Come on, man. That's so sad. Good, that's so sweet, you know? And when he finally, I actually thought he was dead. I gave in.
I did too.
I fully believed it. I was like, yep, that's it. This movie sucks. It's the worst movie ever.
I was thinking, low key, if he did die, I would have been like, so he gets to go back home to them people that put him in a coma.
No, for real. For real. I was
literally going to be so, all right, here's how it broke out. So, newsflash. Rocky's alive.
Yay!
And then, bro, honestly, that was probably my favorite non-hug that was a hug ever in a movie, man. Like right when Grace wakes up and just goes, I literally felt that. That's why I literally almost cried. That was the scene that almost made me cry.
Wow.
That was the scene.
That's what got Phil. We'll get
I literally
Phil
right there when he just went straight into him.
Wow.
And then like before, because I love the scene where he just gives him a hug because he's like offering to give him fuel, and he's just like, "What is this? What are we doing?" And he's like, "It's a hug." What do we stop. He just raises his body up like, yeah. So then right when the second hug happens and Rocky just, without any thought, just goes, I was like, oh, man. Oh, man.
Oh, man.
Is this the best relationship we've seen in the movie?
Yeah. No, for sure. Is this the
best one?
Yeah, for sure.
What beats it? If you could choose
in this movie or in any movie?
Any movie. What relationship beats this movie?
Wally and Eva in Wally. It's the single greatest love story in cinema history. I stand on that wholeheartedly.
Screw the robots. Rocky and Grace.
No, it's a fantastic.
It's about Rocky, Grace, and Adrian.
It was perfect. And can I be honest? And this is where I want to talk about some of the past stuff. Mm-hmm. I think once Rocky gets introduced, I care less about like the past stuff. Because I'm just like, please let me just get back. Yes. Where at the beginning, I loved a lot of his story of him in the classroom and then him getting roped into all this government stuff and then him hanging out and like with all the people and whatever. I thought it was all great. But once Rocky gets introduced, every time they cut away, I'm like, no, bring me back, you know? But
I'm going 9 out of 10.
Even just, yes, we got him. Let's go. We did it. It always happens. It always happens.
I'm remembering everything and I'm just like, oh.
I do want to briefly talk about the past stuff before we move on. Really good still. I think hands down it was really good. I think it moves at a very different pace where it kind of feels a little bit more slow and then just now things are going, you know? And I liked it because I think it has some of the best bits in the movie, especially early on. I think of Ryan Gosling and the like, what do you call him? He's from The Bear. I know that. Like I always forget the actor's name.
Talking about Lionel Boyce, who was Carl.
I loved them hanging out at Home Depot, just like rolling the things and doing all the weird science stuff. I love stuff like that. Like science montages are so fun when they figure stuff like that. When they're all just eating candy the whole time, made me want to eat candy. That's all I'm saying. I loved a lot of that stuff, and I liked. A great scene is when he goes into the government office or he goes into the big meeting and he's sitting there and he's like, what's going on? And he like talks into the mic. That was so good. But I don't think this is the same scene because I wanted to bring up a joke, but I don't think it's that scene. I'm sorry. I'm jumping all around right now. Do you remember the scene when he's talking about how he doesn't want to get on the ship and like, he's like, I'm really scared of like, I could never get on a ship. I'm scared of like this thing. And then the pilot is like, well, don't worry. I mean, that thing's not going to be on a spaceship. Do you know what I'm talking about?
That thing's not going to be on a space. Are you talking about when the astronauts find out that they are going to die?
Yeah. Exactly.
They want to die?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't remember the exact scene, but there's a specific instance where he's talking about how much of a coward he is. And he's like, dude, I can't even do this. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, okay. I thought that bit was so funny with the pilot. I liked a lot of the side cast. AT&T girl, for some reason, is in this movie, and I was like, that's funny. But also, yeah, I like noticed it. I was like, that's AT&T? That's pretty cool. She's an actress now. But, I mean, she was always an actress. Yeah, I know. Yeah. But regardless, I was like, that's cool. I liked all of that stuff. But, again, dude, I think the Rocky and Ryan Gosling relationship just kind of outshines everything that those bits were doing. After a certain point, I'm just like, dude, I'm all in on this. So, but what'd you think of the explosion leading into him inevitably getting onto the ship? What'd you think of all that?
Are you talking about the scene?
Yeah, in the past, when the big building explodes and they lose a bunch of their people.
Bro, that took me out because I was wondering, why did they just go, joke's on you, you're actually going to be on the ship because you're the smartest guy we have? I was thinking, is that how it's going? But right when that spot blew up, I went, oh, so he has to go on the ship. And in my mind, I was thinking, that's probably the scientist. And then right when they admitted it, I went,
yeah.
So did he volunteer? And right when he says, no, I don't want to do it. Can I think about it? You have 3 hours. I went, he doesn't want to do it. He doesn't want to do it. And so right when you find out that he never wanted to do it and they put him in the forced coma, I went, yeah, bro, I'm not returning to Earth.
You know,
I literally said that in my head. I'm like, I'm not going back.
I think this probably isn't true at all, but something me and my brother talked about is like, do you think they exploded the building on purpose? Because he was the only one that was going to be able to figure it out. I don't think that's probably actually true. I like that theory. That's a very like government shady thing to do because you're like, hey, these scientists have not really figured out anything. You've kind of done most of the work. So why wouldn't you come on the ship? And that was the only way they could really convince him. But also they could have just knocked him out anyway and did it. So it's probably not really what happened. But I think him getting knocked out and all that stuff was really sad.
It really was.
That was really sad. Like him, but also kind of funny. When he's on the counter and he's like trying to get around them, he's like, nope, 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 nope.
When she says like, you don't have any family, not even a pet, I went,
yeah, dude, poor
I don't
guy.
like you anymore.
Yeah, no, what the heck was that?
I was like warming up to, what's her name? I was warming up to Stig and Ava, and then right when she said all that, I was like, I don't like you no more. You know what? I would have gotten mad myself if I was in a position. I was like, you know what? Put me in space right now. Bet I won't save y'all.
Dude, I mean,
bet I won't save y'all.
Like, even just him on the floor screaming, like, please don't, please don't. Like a kid freaking scared of getting a shot, bro.
Yep.
Like, that was so sad. Genuinely so sad. And freaking Carl doing it, too. What are you doing, bro? Y'all played bowling in the Home Depot. What are you doing?
Man, y'all had Skittles.
Yeah, dude.
That
was rough.
They lucky they didn't send me up there. I would have been like, you ain't getting this. You ain't getting this astrophage.
Yeah, no, you're not getting it.
You forced me on this ship. I'm going to his planet. I'm going Rocky. I'm chilling.
What'd you think of the ending?
Oh, so heartwarming.
So good, right?
So heartwarming. When I find out that he lives, and then when I see him walking, at first I thought they just found their own planet, but then the more I'm thinking about it, and then when he says that word, he's like, can you tell them to like maybe switch up the temperature to the water? It's a little cold. I went, oh, he's living with Rocky, and I got so happy because at first I was like, damn, he's in heaven right now.
He's dead.
Damn, he's dead. But then I saw the little robotic thing, and I was like, where is he? And I was like, and then so when he goes over and he's teaching the little rock kids and stuff, and he's like, any questions? I was like, bro, never go back.
I hope he stays. I hope he ends up staying. Probably Hail Mary 2. Hope it never happens. But yeah, phenomenal movie. I really enjoyed the ending too. I thought it was perfect way to end that movie. Yeah. I will say before we close, nothing's gonna beat. At this point, I don't think anything's gonna beat 28 Years Later 2, The Bone Temple, because I put it on my Letterboxd list and I was like, dude, is this better than The Bone Temple? No, because I can't stop thinking about that movie still to this day.
That's true.
So I wanted to ask, is this your movie of the year so far?
It's my movie of the year so far.
Okay.
It is. And I just gave it a 9 out of 10. I got
you got to, yeah. Bone Temple is still mine. I'm still waiting for the thing to dethrone it. I think the thing that will end up dethroning it is whatever I give a 10 this year, where I'm just like, this is the definitive, this is what you should all be watching.
I know what's going to beat it.
K-Pop Demon Hunters 2.
In 4 years.
In 4 years. But yeah, anything else you want to say on Project Hail Mary?
Bro, please go watch this movie. Please, like, this movie was so good. It's way better than good. It's fantastic. And if you have a chance, and I'm not even joking, if you have a chance to watch this in IMAX, go watch it in IMAX.
I didn't watch it in IMAX, but you should do it.
I didn't watch it in IMAX, but I just know.
You just know it's probably insane.
I literally was thinking the whole time, this movie, I wish I saw this in IMAX.
Yeah.
I wish. But go watch the movie. Standard, IMAX, 4D, whatever you want to do. Just watch it in theaters.
All right. What you've been watching, Time Phil, my favorite segment. But here's the thing. Here's the unfortunate thing about what you've been watching for me is I'm not ready to really talk about what I've been watching. Because I'm watching a lot, actually. A lot of anime, specifically. If you don't know, anime is kind of in a golden age right now, or a golden period. A lot of anime is coming out. Fire Force is ending. I think at this point, it should be ending in the next couple weeks. Jujutsu Kaisen ends this week, so I'm catching up on that because I'm a little behind. Frieren is coming to a close in a few weeks as well, the dub specifically. I think the finale comes out this week, but I won't be watching that until the dub's fully out, so I'm still catching up on that. Actually, that I'm fully caught up on. I caught up today, but I don't want to talk about that until it's over. What else? There's another thing that I need to watch. Oh, Vigilantes, My Hero is finishing as well.
Oh,
that I'm just starting the first season of, so I'll be here to talk about all that stuff. So I'm kind of like giving a good bridge where next week I'll talk about JJK for sure. But after that, like there's going to be a What You've Been Watching where it's Isaiah's been watching a lot of anime and he's going to talk about all of it. So just be ready for it because I have a lot to say on a lot of animes, but just look out for JJK because I have a lot of thoughts. So we'll be talking about that probably at some point.
Okay, man.
Yeah. Oh, actually, sorry, I have one more thing, actually. I've also been watching How I Met Your Mother, like, I've been committing to How I Met Your Mother pretty hard, actually. I told myself I was going to watch Scrubs, and then instead I started watching How I Met Your Mother, because I started it. I was 4 episodes in, I was like, yeah, this is good. I like it. It's good sitcom stuff. And then I kind of just binged a lot of it. I'm on episode 17 now, where I was just, like, sitting, and I'm like, banger after banger after banger episodes. I'm like, this show is really good. I understand why this is some people's favorite sitcom of all time. For some people, it's their favorite TV show of all time. It's insanely funny. It has great characters, and that's all a sitcom needs. Genuinely, that's all a sitcom needs. So I'm going to keep watching it. I think it's 10 seasons, so I'm in it for the long haul. I already know how it ends. I already know who the mother is, but it's okay. So I'm here for the ride, and it's been a good time. So
holy crap, man. Good luck.
Yeah. Have you seen it?
Nah.
Yeah. You're not a sitcom guy, right? You're not a big sitcom guy?
I'll probably in the future I will
dabble,
be, but
yeah.
Right now I'm not the strongest in it. But I want to.
If I could describe phases of my life, it's like when I'm a kid, it's superheroes and all that stuff. In my teens, it was a lot of anime. As I've become this young adult, I've watched so many more sitcoms than I ever could in my entire life. I love sitcoms. Okay. So, Phil, anyways, continue. What have you been watching, Phil?
Hey, well, I started Bridgerton.
Whoa!
I started Bridgerton. Everybody was telling me watch it. It's actually really good. It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Holding my tongue right now. Holding my tongue. Not pun intended.
I don't know too much about it besides what I'm like. That's what I like about shows. If I haven't seen or heard anything like spoilers and stuff, I love that because then I can just go in with my own personal like. All right, let's watch it. See what it's building. And so far, it's nice. Yeah, it's pretty nice. It's not bad. It's impressive with a lot of things. The drama is pretty interesting. I think the only thing that's getting on my nerves is the whole like,
You just saying that show is impressive is so funny.
It is. I'll give it to it. It's impressive. It's just
definitely.
I get so annoyed.
Impressive in a way. Impressive in a very specific way that a lot of people like it for sure.
Is there a certain thing besides that? I don't know too. Like when I tell you I don't know too much when it comes to that.
How little do you know about this show?
Little.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Like very little?
Yeah.
Like you weren't in when everyone during COVID was watching Bridgerton and they were like, this show is a show.
I saw the picture of it and I went, nah, I'm not cool with that like Victorian age.
Yeah, totally.
I'm not cool with that.
100%, yeah.
So
you're gonna have to keep me posted on this. I can't wait to hear your reactions. I've never seen it, but from what I've heard, I would not like it. I know for a fact I wouldn't like
gossip seeds, man.
I
get so
for
annoyed
sure.
when I be hearing like all the talk. Why are you talking?
The gossip is great, probably.
It just gets on my nerves. I hate that whole behind.
What episode are you
on? Season 1, episode 6.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you've been watching.
Yeah. What are we? All right. Tell me what you.
Phil, that show is very like it's just not a show I would expect you to watch. It's very a lot. And not that I think that I know a lot of people are like cool and stuff like that. I just think it's really funny hearing you like watch a show that I just didn't think you would ever watch a show like that.
What do you mean by a lot though?
It's very spicy.
It's very spicy. That's a good word. Thank you. That's the word.
Okay, you talking about the whole like.
Yes.
And they're actually doing it.
Okay.
I think.
You're talking.
No, I thought they talked about like a lot of it being real.
I mean, I was just talking about Game of Thrones like weeks ago.
Yeah, but Game of Thrones is like spicy, but it like has a lot of like the action stuff, you know? That show Bridgerton is just very spicy.
I mean, so far, I'm just when it comes to those scenes, I'm whatever. I'm trying to pay attention to the whole story besides that, but yeah, it gets freaky. It does.
Okay.
I'm just not.
Yeah.
I'm kind of just trying to look past it.
I would like to know how much of our audience likes Bridgerton because I know it's still very popular. It's always like every time they drop a new season, it's always #1 on the Netflix charts, whatever. People love that show. You could never convince me to watch it.
I don't know if I will be in love with this show. I respect it so far, but it's just that I hate that whole talking behind people's back gossiping stuff.
Really? I feel like that's what makes it fun.
But
it's like you get to experience it without doing the gossiping. You just get to hang out.
No, it gets on my nerves sometimes.
That's funny.
It's just a personal thing with me.
Yeah.
But besides that, I also finished One Piece season 2.
Nice.
It was pretty good. I didn't like it more than the first season, but I liked it.
Nice.
And then what I really want to talk about though, I am caught up with Absolute Batman.
Oh, fun. Okay.
So stinking good.
Good. Did you see the designs for Penguin and Two-Face? Yeah.
And Scarecrow.
And Scarecrow, yeah.
Bro, it's so good. Like, please read that comic.
Yeah,
it's
no,
so good.
I have a lot of comics to catch up on. I'm kind of waiting for Comic-Con season to roll around, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to binge through all my comics, and then I'll start buying some new stuff. So,
if
yeah,
I see
I'll be there.
absolute anything at Comic-Con, I'm buying it. Yeah. I don't care.
You going to start another Absolute series?
Oh, yeah, I started Absolute Wonder Woman.
Nice. Everyone says that one's the best one.
Oh, okay.
At least early. I know early, a lot of people were saying that. I know Batman kind of took over, but I know early stuff when it was Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman kind of coming out at the same time, everyone was glazing Wonder Woman. They thought it was great.
Yeah, I'm huge on Batman, but Absolute Batman, but Absolute Wonder Woman's pretty good.
Awesome.
Like, it's pretty good, but I'm still going to go with Absolute Batman.
Sounds good.
But yeah, that's what I've been watching. And
that's another episode of the Film Podcast. We break down films the way that anyone can enjoy. Sorry for a little bit of the rushed what you've been watching. We'll make sure to give you guys a detailed look once I finish up stuff. Once Phil maybe watches a little bit more Bridgerton, because I can't wait to hear what he has to say about that show. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe on all things. YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Spotify for you audio listeners. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and stay watching stuff. Peace.